let me tell you some wonderful things about Ben. You know, it's only one side asking me to defriend the other side. And, but Ben and I had a text exchange after that. And he said in the text, you know, something to the effect of, I agree that our friendship is more important than what other friendships we have in our lives. The next thing I knew, Sean, he was standing on the stage at Turning Point, ripping me as a coward.
The same holds true of Megyn Kelly, a person I consider a friend, characterizing Candace as a young mother and thus shying away from condemning her actions or fibbing about them.
Now, this video says, Megyn Kelly reveals what? She reveals what? Okay, Megyn Kelly reveals what Erica Kirk asked her to do about Candace. Wow. Candace, ... wow. Now, shout out to this lady for this video. I'm hoping this video is going to be something really amazing. I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Maybe I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'm hoping you're going to enjoy every second of it. Shout out to this lady for this video. You get what I'm saying? This lady is from Cyprus. Just in case you're wondering. All right? And then shout out to her for this. I appreciate you guys watching. Let's check it out. More videos on the way. Let's go.
Went on Sean Ryan podcast and spoke about something not many people mentioned. Megyn Kelly went on Sean Ryan podcast and spoke about something not many people mentioned so far. I don't know if it went unnoticed. Maybe it didn't seem like a big deal to people, but it is a massive deal. Megyn Kelly let us know a little bit what was happening behind the scenes with the Candace and Erica conflict. She revealed that Erica allegedly asked her to speak to Candace and convince her to stop her investigation into Erica, to start peace conversations. And we are talking about this very thing today. So Megyn talks about her fight with Ben Shapiro and how unfairly he treated her because she wouldn't condemn Candace, and how she treated Erica. Take a listen. And yes, we have to know this backstory to understand what happened between Candace and Erica and why Megyn is involved and why was she condemned for all of it. It all starts with the mosquito guy.
You know, I had nothing but love for Ben. And then I did my tour in the fall where I had Tucker Carlson one night and Ben the next night. And I gave Ben the nicest intro a person could possibly give him. I mean, it was a conscious effort to build him up because people were already turning on Ben because the war had gone on so long in Gaza. There was a lot of blowback. Ben is, you know, ardently 100% pro. And I didn't like seeing him twist in the wind. I felt...
Okay, pause right there. Why do you bleep Israel? Why do you bleep Jews? What is wrong with that, bro? Why? Why do you bleep Israel? I don't get it. Don't bleep. Stop bleeping it. I mean, yo, they bleeped it, but like...
bad for him. And I really wanted to sort of vouch for him with my audience to say, this is a good person, you know? Let me tell you some wonderful things about Ben in the intro before he came out. But publicly, you know, we aired that on my show. And he was in an irascible mood that night. We had a contentious back and forth on the stage, but it was fine. I had no problem with it. And he kind of stormed out of there that night. And I thought, are we not good? And why are we not good?
Okay, so for those of you who missed it, this is the moment Megyn is talking about when Ben accused Candace of stating that Erica unalived Charlie. Here it is.
I think you and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But because like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, yes.
It looked like for Megyn it was an intense exchange of information or opinions, but Ben was on a mission to get her to bend the knee, to condemn Candace, to say she was wrong. And Megyn wouldn't do that. She also suspected, and later on in the interview states it clearly, that it was actually about Tucker Carlson. She wouldn't turn on Tucker, and Ben couldn't stand it.
I mean, I don't get it. Ben is... bro, if you want to go crazy, just go crazy by yourself. Why do you need allies, bro? Why do you need allies? You want to do your thing by yourself. You do not need people. I mean, usually when you need people on your side is because you kind of know that you cannot do on your own. You cannot do on your own. And you know that if you go down that road, then you're not gonna make it. You are not gonna make it. That's why you're trying to drag people, you're trying to trick people to agree with you, you're trying to trick people to join you in your madness, and then get where exactly?
And I think in that night, I thought it could be because of Tucker, because I'm still friends with Tucker, and those two were openly warring. And I was trying to get them not to. I love Tucker like a brother. And I've known him a lot longer than Ben, but I care about Ben too. And I tried very much behind the scenes to get them both to come together and try, for the sake of the conservative movement and the country, to not to like disagree, but not hate each other, which was a fool's errand, but it was undertaken in earnest for whatever it's worth. And instead it seemed to turn Ben on me, not Tucker. He had no problem. He wasn't into it, like he wasn't wanting to be close to Ben, but in no way did it make him feel angry toward me. It's only one side asking me to defriend the other side. And but Ben and I had a text exchange after that. And he said in the text, something to the effect of, I agree that our friendship is more important than what other friendships we have in our lives. And that's what we should nurture and, prioritize. Because he'd been in my ear about Tucker prior to that. And I was like, I totally get where you're coming from, but I love him and I disagree with you. And I do listen to his show and I think you're misinterpreting where he's coming from. And he rejected that out of hand. And we had already agreed to disagree on Tucker, which is fine, right? That's friends do that. Like, I get it. He's in a very sensitive place. He's got family in Israel and I think a home in Israel and, obviously very, very committed to it. And the next thing I knew, Sean, he was standing on the stage at Turning Point, ripping me as a coward.
A coward?
Allegedly because I wouldn't call out Candace Owens and what she was saying about Erica Kirk.
I mean, look at this. Look at everything. I mean, everything that she just said. Then things that she said that happened between her and Ben. They were friends, quote unquote. But then he goes on stage and he does that. How do you explain that? It's like something is missing, right? It's like, okay, something must have happened before that. But according to her, nothing happened. And Ben just went on stage and just did what he did. That's a tragedy.
But that's not what it was about. It was about my not ending my friendship with Tucker, which is the thing that he had been pushing me on for weeks.
Okay, let me show you that piece of Ben's speech from Amfest where he mentioned Megyn. It is so slimy of him. First, he sends a message to her, let's be friends, your friendship is too important to me.
Yeah.
And then he goes on stage and an appearance he had to buy for himself, by the way, and rips her to shreds. He's a true psychopath. Here is the moment.
The same holds true of Megyn Kelly, a person I consider a friend, characterizing Candace as a young mother and thus shying away from condemning her actions or fibbing about them. That is a non-starter. Meghan Markle is a young mother. Ilhan Omar is a young mother. That doesn't matter. And when Megyn said this week, quote, my goal and my job here is to try to understand, yes, where Candace is coming from on this, and says she sees no purpose in inserting herself, quote, into this on one side, that is a moral and logical absurdity. There is only one moral side here, Erica Kirk's side. The side of the widow with 2 children, whose husband was shot live on camera in front of all of us. Friendship with the person accusing TPUSA of a cover-up of Charlie's murder is no excuse for cowardice.
With friends like this, who needs enemies, right?
I talked about this in my other videos. I was talking about the fact that Ben Shapiro was the one that was trying to stop Charlie Kirk from rising. You know what I'm saying? From becoming the man that he became. And that he was to become if he wasn't taken out. You know what I'm saying? But now he's acting like he's all on Erica Kirk's side and trying to be her friend or trying to be her ally or trying, to be somebody that she can count on. But really, he's not. He's not. He switched up. He be switching up lanes, all right? He switched up lanes like nothing. like a Ferrari on the highway. All right, switching up lanes, whenever.
This speech prompted very strong responses, especially from Candice, with the famous line, F you, Ben, and the midget horse you rode in on. Legendary. Also, I want to point something out. I've done few episodes now discussing how people around Erica seem to use her widow status to gain something. Views, money, status. In Ben's case, it's probably all of the above. But also, he literally used Candice's investigation into Erica as an excuse to rip into Megyn, his old friend, which means his outrage over widow being attacked must have been fake all along. And he only spoke about it to fulfill his agenda, to make Megyn stop being friends with Tucker. Slimy little Ben, all right? But back to Megyn, because we are now getting close to her speaking about Erica Kirk and what was happening behind the scenes. Let's go.
And he, like many of his supporters, have been using the Candice-Erica feud against me ever since. At the time, I wasn't saying anything about whatever's going on between the two of them because I was working behind the scenes to help them resolve it. I actually had gotten to know Candice a little, and I knew Erica pretty well. And Candice was very, very focused on Turning Point, as she remains, including Erica. And Erica asked me if I would help her broker a peace between the two of them. And I said yes. So I was trying to do that at Erica's request. And people like Ben didn't quite understand, nor did they give a shit. You know, it was like they just assumed I was a coward, I guess. I was too weak to stand up. Meanwhile, it's like I've been asked by the person you purport to be protecting, Erica Kirk, to help her behind the scenes put this to rest. So go fuck yourself. And you're trying to shame me for not coming out and saying, Candace Owens is bad. You know, it's just possible you don't know the whole story.
This is extremely interesting to me because what we've seen were videos of Erica saying, stop, that's it, stop. Trying to make fun of all the conspiracy theories and ridicule Candice's suspicions directed at her or people from TV USA, whether it was donors or employees. So I'm thinking about the timeline here. Ben and Megyn spoke on stage in the first week of November. Then around 22nd of November, Erica went on Megyn Kelly and they spoke on stage too. And I remember it well because I was surprised Megyn didn't push on any harder questions. She didn't question Erica on stuff that happened with Candice, which means they must have spoken about it privately. Anyway, yes. So that was on 22nd of November. And then Candice and Erica had that meeting behind closed doors on 15th of December. Can't help but wonder if Megyn had anything to do with this meeting or the fact that it even happened. Maybe she advised them to meet up. I really wonder what was the level of her involvement in the whole thing. I did find a video of Megyn, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, when she talks about the meeting between Candice and Erica, and, well, I believe it happened very differently. Take a listen.
Of course, I don't agree with what she's said about Turning Point, Erica, and she knows that. But my point was simply that I thought maybe Charlie help me understand, keep my powder dry in the whole thing so that maybe I could be in a position to help it happen. It's what Erica wants. Maybe Candice does want an off-ramp, and I'm willing to try. So Candice and I were in touch, and she was very nice. She said, I'm thrilled it's you. I'll do it. So they were going to do it out here in Arizona, and then there was a security issue. Candice said that she said she couldn't come. And then Erica said, I'll go to you. I'll go to Nashville. She's just extraordinary. I mean, Erica's been all over the country trying to honor Charlie's commitments on his book tour. She was exhausted. She had this coming up this week. I mean, she's going there. She has 2 babies at home she's now a single mother to. But she really wanted to put this to bed. And so she said, I'll go to you. And then it morphed into, let's not do the live stream. Let's just do it. The 2 of us, which I thought was great. So they both went in there. Erica brought a trusted friend and employee here. And Candice had someone very close to her, and by all accounts from both women, had a very good meeting. Now, will it last? Where does it go from here? I was joking earlier, like, what's more tenuous, the Gaza peace deal or this situation? What I really want is for Candice to move on from Turning Point and Erica. I have no problem with her asking questions, but not about them. But I also object, for the record, to the people who have tried to shut Candice down entirely on inquiring into what, if any, role did Israel have here. And I want to make clear, I don't think Israel had any role. I think Tyler Robinson killed Charlie. My only question is whether there was some trans Tifa element that helped him. However, it's okay to ask questions about his. And it was Andrew Colvett, the executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, who sent those texts to the FBI of Charlie's, from that private message. It wasn't a text, it was private messages, like a group chat, in which he said the donors to Turning Point were driving him up the wall, and that he'd had it with them, and that they were making demands of him that he was not prepared to meet, and he was at his wit's end. And he had told me personally that he found their behavior, and I quote, repulsive. So I was fine. I don't think it had anything to do with it, but why did I have an obligation to stop Candace from asking those questions? I didn't, and I didn't call her out because I favored her asking them.
Okay, it did not happen this way. It wasn't a peaceful exchange between TPUSA or Erica and Candace. They demanded Candace to show up in person or not at all. Megyn said they decided, let's not do the live stream. I, Erica, will come to you instead. BS. Candace started talking about Fort Huachuca and Erica panicked. She flew to her immediately with a ready useless alibi for Brian Harpool. So again, according to Megyn, Erica asked her to help her make peace with Candace. Erica decided, let's not do this live stream. I'll graciously fly over to you because I am just so amazing and accommodating and God is good. But we all saw what happened.
Yes, that's true. That's a fact. Candace, everything Candace said is not what Megyn Kelly just said. So it's already, it's a lie. It's a lie. That is a lie. I was agreeing to this point. When she was talking, I was like, hold up a minute. Hold up. The story is like not adding up. It's so off. It's so off. Yeah, that was something. What do you guys think about this, man? What do you guys think? Ben Shapiro, man, that's a part. There's a story. That's a story I haven't heard before. Okay, that side of the story that Megyn Kelly. I mean, if she lied about that, the ending of the story. Ooh, what else she lied about? Now that's a question, huh? Now that's a question. Now I don't even think Ben actually did what she said. I don't think Ben actually did what she said he did. That's so weird, man. Now I'm so confused. I don't even know if. Okay, man, that's it. That's enough. That's enough. What do you guys think about this, man? What do you guys think about it? Shout out to this lady. Shout out to Megyn Kelly. Shout out to Candace. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to Ben Shapiro. Shout out to whoever's out there doing whatever. You get what I mean? I'm going to catch you guys next time. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. More videos on the way. I'm going to do my best to drop as many. You get what I mean? Thank you. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, hold up. Make sure to check out my spiritual channel. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to put a link at the top of the comments. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to read the scripture. If you want to know more about the scripture, check out my channel. Click the link at the top of the comments. Go to my channel, MMR Yahoo. Truth over tradition. You get what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Catch you next time.
Know this easily. I'm praying to the sky and I got no fear. That's right, bro, I got no fear. Every day in my head, every day in my ears. Yeah, every day in my ears. The one drop me down and yeah, that's clear. Yeah, everything is not clear. This the end, then everything's clear. That's right, the end is near. Get away from me. All these demons, get away from me.